And I think I'm live. At least I hope so. This is a live recording. If you are looking at this at a later time, where I will unbox QGIS 3.26 that was technically released on Friday, but it will not be officially released until all packaging is done. But since I'm using Linux, they are usually quick. And I noted that for my distribution, the FlatHub is not quite ready yet. But for my distribution, let's check FlatHub first. Nope, not done yet. But the deb packages for Ubuntu, they're done. So I thought it would be fun to try out this live streaming. And if anybody is watching this live, you're welcome to put in questions in the chat, and I'll try to read them at least, if you have specific questions that you want me to test something. But we'll start by installing. And I'm running this on Zorin OS, so it's a Ubuntu-based distribution. So let's see if this is quick and nippy. Let's see if I can open something here. Oh, you are not seeing anything. Let me switch the scene. Here we go. Hello, Manuel. As you can see on the web page, it is not formally released. It's still 3.24 that is advertised, but the changelog for 3.26 is already up. And I really recommend you look through this changelog because it's extensive. It's massive for this release. And there's also a visual changelog in video format that is going through most of the new features in a rapid pace. And it's 14 minutes long. So there's a lot of new features. And after all this, there's a list with new features. And I will pick some of them at least when the software has done installing. So it's almost done. So just a little bit more. Oh, Australia and India. Nice. Almost done. Oh, it's done. So let's launch it. And there's the new splash screen. And as you saw, it's the release candidate. And that's something that was introduced a couple of releases ago to highlight or make you aware of that this is a .0 release. So there may be unforeseen bugs in it. So you should be aware that the .0 releases are considered release candidate, but they are the new stable release, but be warned, there might be bugs, and maybe we will find some of them here. Okay, that was that. Let's see, what do we have to look at? Selecting all features. Yeah, this one. You can select features that are similar. If we go by, let's use this world. And let's see. And do we have anything that are common between? Yeah, maybe we can do it like this. Let's see. Categorized, and let's create a category based on FID. Like that. And now, if I'm not mistaken, if I do identify, that will not work for this. But if select features by attribute value, if there are more features that has DE in its ISO name, it would be selected. Do we have Denmark? Denmark might be like that. So let's try select features by attribute value. No, not Germany. Yeah, Denmark like that. Select features by attribute value. Denmark, but not Greenland. Nope. That one is Norway, but yeah, it's a bad data set to try this with. But there's another option in the legend. So I should be able to pick everything that has this value by select features. Yeah, that did work. So that's another feature, but they are related at least in some way. So this could be useful if we see that I want to select everything that is similar to Sweden. That is number 2, I guess. Yes. I could just right-click, select features with that styling. That could be useful. Coordinate ordering. Yeah, that one I'm a bit interested in. So the coordinates here, on top right, it should be, now they are in lat long order. Yes, they are. If we look at the coordinate numbers here, previously they always were XY, so they were longitude then latitude, but now it is dependent on the projection. So what happens if I change the projection to pseudo-Mercator? Now it's X first. Yes. Negative, positive, negative Y, negative X. Yep. There it is X and Y. But for for this one, yeah, and you are supposed to be able to change that in the settings. Let me check. General settings and override something. Project. Where do we have it? Prompt to save. No. Where is it? Default coordinate order. Coordinate order. Where is coordinate order? Project files. Wasn't it there? general coordinate and something. Coordinate bearing display. Oh, maybe it's not in this settings. Maybe it's the project settings. General coordinate and bearing display, yes. Coordinate order default, and you can override it by saying that this project should be easting northing first. So that's XY, or in the other way. Yep. Something to be aware of at least. So what else is new? That one we looked at previously. Copy preview expression value to clipboard. I think we can do that. That one gives us 5, and I can copy expression value, and that should be 5. Yes. I will skip that one. Implement scroll wheel actions for color and symbol buttons. Okay. What do we have here? Yeah, look at that. I'm using the scroll wheel, and it changes the opacity for the color. That was nice. Let me just clear. So, and of course it does it live in the map as well. What else do we have? Stroke color, yeah, sure. Did it change anything else? For marker symbols, the marker size increases and decreases. For line symbols, the line width increases and decreases. So if we make this outline simple line, it's still the color, and there, no, that's not sure what that was about. At least you can change the opacity by the scroll wheel. Yeah, I'll look into that later. Shift wheel scrolling. Okay, let's open the table. Nope. There we go. That, so we can scroll upside down, and was it shift? Yes. And shift scrolls left to right. It does. Good to know. Symbology. Animation mark a symbol type. Yeah, I will not try the GIF one, but you are supposedly be able to use GIFs and some other formats as well. Where do we get that? Thought there, yeah, here we go. GIF, WebP, or MNG animation files. So you can use those for symbols, but you are supposed to be able to use, let's see. Let me see if I have some data we can add. A new project. And let's see, what kind of points do we have here? Symbols. That's a mast. that one, let's make it really big. And we're supposed to be able to animate that. Animation. Okay. So the rotation, for instance, we can use a new variable called something animation, anim or frame number. And since it's a rotation by 360 degrees, let's use modulus 360. Okay. That will not do anything, but we can do under advanced animation settings and say it's animated. But I'm guessing we need to do something else as well. I'm not really into this animation settings, so I'm obviously missing something. Project, maybe. No animations. Animate. I'm certainly missing something. Is animated, yes. Oh, it's not this one. Yes, it is. I may have a symbol that is too complex symbology for, so let's change it to simple symbology. And now we have a rotation. Is animated. Nope. Yep, I don't know. You're supposed to be able to use this variable for frame number to animate objects in a lot of ways. But since I am not used to working with animations, I'm certainly missing something. And it's probably in here somewhere. Let's move on. Point cloud style synchronization, follow 2D render. That we can test. I prepared some point cloud data to try things out with. And another thing, when we are going to use point cloud data, previously when you imported a LAS, a merged point cloud like this, it was converted to an EPT, and it will still read the EPTs fine, no problem. But if you import LAS files now, it's supposed to be converted to cloud optimized point clouds instead. So to try that, I need to rename my point cloud. Let's see here, geodata point cloud. There we go, merge. That one, copy, paste, rename that to new PC PC. That's enough to try it out, and let's drop it into QGIS. See what happens. Something happens. While that is working, we can try that styling maybe. So for that point cloud we have follow 2D symbology. So if I change that to the classes, the 3D view follows that one. Oops. No, I want it to float. Let's turn that off. So if I change my 2D view to RGB, my 3D view will change with it. That is excellent. That's really nice. What else was it about here? That one, fixed interval, is also interesting. I'll look at that later. I want to do point clouds. There's a lot of things regarding 3D in this version. I want to see what happens with the import of the point cloud previously. So no, I'm not sure if I'm really a fan of this. Let's put it there. Turn that off. Should be done any second. And a few more in the live stream. See, from Ukraine, and Anita is here. Let's see this new point cloud. What happened to it? New point cloud. Yeah, it created a COPC LAS file. So it's a bit bigger, but not much. And the benefits of creating COPC instead of EPT or Entwine is that it's one file, and it's, let's say, backwards compatible with lesser feature-rich GIS software that still can read point cloud, compressed point clouds. So I'm not perfectly fine with this change, but it is the future, so it's just to accept. I need to keep older QGIS versions in order to convert to EPT formats, since I'm using Pottery as a point cloud viewer on a web server, and it will support COPC in the future, but for now it's EPT only. But this is the future, so let's keep that one and remove the EPT. Yep, so it still works fine in 3D. And this is a small point cloud, only 55 million points. So I have one with 25 billion points, and it works as great, but it's harder to compile into one file. So this 55 million points over Stockholm works fine. Let's see. Actually, this 3D is much smoother than I remember. It works really great. Let's see if we can see the 3D point size a bit big. And let's add OpenStreetMap. And that should be in the background. There's supposed to be a new feature which synchronizes better. 2D map view follows 3D camera. Let's try that one. Look at that. Nice. Is it right? That's the castle up there in the center of the map. Not quite. Well, maybe. I guess it depends on how you tilt the scene as well. And there's this gizmo, 3D gizmo, that will show you the orientation in 3D and not just a compass. And that's a nice addition in 3.26. Let me turn on this iDome lighting. Yeah, I'm really impressed with 3D in QGIS. It has come a long way. It's not that long ago it was non-existent, but it has come a long way. So this is really nice. I can do this all day. Just pan around and look at stuff in 3D. This is great. Yep, okay. 3D camera follows 2D map. Then try that one as well. Okay, that's so if I change something and move it here, it will reset. Yep, but that's also nice. Maybe a quick keyboard shortcut for this could be nice. Is there one? Keyboard shortcuts. 3D. No. What is it called? Camera. I'm guessing there is no shortcut yet, at least. Nope. But anyway, this is impressive. Really impressive. And it's using industry standard LAS. It's not converted to proprietary indexed point clouds that no other software can read. So that's also a benefit and a plus. Okay, I can look at this all day. Yeah, we will get back to point clouds a bit later. So this one, let's do another. Oops, something happened. QGIS crashed. Start it again. And let's type world. And Russia is not there. Ukraine is not there. Let's pan it. And there they go. Is that some form of geospatial discrimination? I'm not sure. Yeah. Never mind. Let's see. We have styles for that. And let's do graduated on FID equal count, classify, and we have 5 classes, so I can change it to a different number of classes. Yeah, okay. But if I want to do fixed interval, and I say I want the interval to be 10 or 100, shouldn't be so many, should there? Or the FIDs are really high, 1,000, like that. Okay, so you could do pretty breaks before and you would end up with reasonably similar, but depending on how many classes you used. But if you wanted to have 2,500 or 250, let's say that, can I get 250? Nope, I can't. So let's do fixed interval, 250. There we go, 250. Yes. Almost. It doesn't start on 0. That was weird. Isn't it supposed to be... So I'm guessing that in the table the first one is 1, yeah. So it takes 1 and goes 250 steps up, and then you end up on 251. Okay, so if you have a value that is not even, it will divide it in even numbers, and it will be... Need to check that further. Custom dash pattern. Yeah, that's nice. It will be added, so we see how long the total is. Select style categories with storing styles in databases. Okay, let's skip that. Labeling, allow data define control over line anchor type. Yeah, that is nice, and you can move it along like this. I wasn't aware that you could use WMS services for elevation data, but that was a new feature in 3.24. So you can use WMS raster tiles to elevation data. But now you can also resample that data using the traditional raster resampling for bilinear, for instance, and make it a bit prettier. This one I really like. I haven't used it in a while, so but the selective masking. So if we go into this area and do a label by name, make it really, really big. I saw there was someone from Liberia in the chat and Algeria, so you would be right at home. Yeah, and let's do the world map. Not graduated, let's do single symbols and a thicker line. I should use the scroll wheel to change opacity. And as you see, it could be hard to read the text here. And one option has always been to add a buffer around it, but that is an extension of the symbol, so it will cover everything with that buffer. Another option has been to use a mask, and like that, and then you have the mask settings to tell this label what parts of a style should be masked. And previously this has been done through rasterization, but now it's vectorized where it's possible, and that will be a lot nicer and not leave as many artifacts in some resolutions when you, for instance, export raster tiles. So if you haven't used these selective masking, it's a really great feature. So let's do another simple line. And that one should be a bit brighter. So, and did we have to update it? Why isn't it there? Disable, enable. Nope. You're supposed to get both layers here, but I don't. There are some issues that I face some from time to time, and I don't really remember what I did to fix it. Yeah, now it works. So instead of masking the background for the line, I can mask only the black center line. So it looks like this. Yep. This feature was great. I will need to look into that more. 3D features, yay! Sweden, go! It was sponsored by the Swedish QGIS user group, this feature. Let's see, how can I do this? Let's do a new project and add some data. National Land Survey. Do I have any? I do. Building polygons. Yeah, this will be interesting. So if I go into 3D symbology and say it should be a single symbol, extrusion 10 meters. I can change the opacity, but I will not do it right away. Let's see if we can get some. Probably not the best way to do this. No. And QGIS crashed again. Second time. So let's do a new project and use virtual layers. Yeah, no, not virtual layers, memory layers, scratch layers. Building. Polygons, and do it in my own system. Set the scale. And let's do some editing. There's also a lot of new things in editing. So the advanced digitizing panel has had some improvements. We'll get back to that. And there's also the advanced digitizing toolbar has had some updates. And shapes. Shape digitizing toolbar. Let's just do some rectangles. Like that. And it should be extruded by 50 meters maybe? No. Let's do 20. I have no idea. And realistic font, yes, and otherwise it doesn't work. Let's open 3D, and here we go. And now they are opaque, and we should be able to change opacity, and it works. Kind of. Ambient maybe. Yes. So that works. Nice. When a 3D map is created in the project, the map will default to using the same terrain settings as are defined for the project. That's nice. Yep. Okay. So it's not only here. You can also do it. No. I don't have that. A new navigation sync setting for 3D map. Okay. But it is those settings, so they are there, only not in the 3D configuration, at least not in my installation. Yep. Anyway, yes, point clouds. This one is a bit interesting. I'm really curious about this one. So my point cloud before, let's see if it crashes right now. Yep, it does. Is it when I have a 3D window open? Because new project works fine. Let's add my point clouds. Copec. Doot. So new. That worked fine. Open a 3D window. New. That crash. Okay. That's repeatable, so it's a bug. So let's add the point cloud again. I need to try this one more time. So open a 3D window. Yes, that's a 3D window. Close the 3D window. And that crashes QGIS. Okay. Interesting. Let's try not to close the 3D window. Point cloud triangulation in 3D views. Point cloud. Before I do that, can I filter it? Because that is also something that is new. Point cloud filtering on classification ground. Yes, let's do that first. Where do I do that? Filtering, so what using filter expression. Do I do it there? Properties. 3D. Feature filter, query builder. Let's say classification equals ground. Test. Okay. 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 Now I should only have ground. Yes, I do. So this one, point cloud filtering, works. Excellent. And we talked about Copec. And now let's try this one. A bit of a Hail Mary. Let's hope it works and not crash QGIS again. It's in the styling. Render as surface. Yes. Let's do that. Render as surface. And now we need a 3D window. Let's go in a bit closer. It's probably yes. Did work. Actually, that's not half bad. That's pretty nice. And could I style it as elevation? Follow 2D symbology. Let's do that. Keep that 2D symbology and do attribute by ramp and elevation Zulu. See what happens. Can I do color ramp? Yes. Create a new color ramp. CBT City. Top graphic. Yes, okay. Classify. And what does 3D look like? Can we add iDome lighting? Yes, we can. Oh, this is nice. Yep, this is really nice. Yeah, as I mentioned before, 3D has come a long way. This is really nice. Impressive. Print layouts, apply font settings. Okay. Yep, between, not between. So now you can test if something is between something. I'm guessing it needs to be some form of ordering. So it's numbers or letters like this. Lower bound and higher bound. Yep, I will not try that. Static parent. Yep, that's a bit complex, but the aggregate expression has gotten improvements. Digitizing. Add checkbox to disable vertex tool, dock, auto opening behavior. Okay. Shape map tools into feature digitizing. Not completely sure what this is. Let's see if we can close this without crashing QGIS. How should we go about that? 3D views, manage 3D views. Can I remove it? Okay. Nope, that crashed QGIS. For anyone watching this and try to beat me to reporting this bug, I'm using this version of QGIS. So here are the settings that I am using. So PDAL, where do we have PDAL? 2.0.1. That might be an issue. That is probably might be an issue. Yep. Anyway, where were we? Editing, yes. So let's use a projected coordinate system. That. Add a street map. Find an area. That's fine. Memory layer. Polygons are nice. Okay. So let's see. Straight segment, circular segment, streaming, shapes. And that is on the feature digitizing. We need some panels and toolbars. Advanced digitizing panel. And we need some toolbars, advanced digitizing, shape digitizing. I want to have snapping. So put it there. Okay. Let's see. First of all, the shape tools have been extended and integrated with the features from digitizing tools, allowing the use of map tools to use shapes for digitizing operations. Yeah, you could do that before, and I did it by using the shape toolbar. But I'm guessing something here is new, or it's integrated in some way. I need to read this more carefully to understand what it is that is new. So if I do it like this, can I still use that one? Yes, I can. Look at that! Success. I think that was one of the new things. So instead of using the normal tool for the geometry that you're working with, you can use the shapes for this as well. I'm guessing that's the new thing. So reshape, no. Cutting holes, yes. Adding a part. Could not add part, no features. Okay. So if I do it like that, add part, no. This layer, no, okay. Doesn't support multiparts. Filtering. Beep. Yep. Okay, there are more things that are new here. These constraints. I'm a bit interested in those constraints. So I could now start a building on this side that is in line with the previous one without using constructions, because it should work with snapping in some way. So it snaps to these corners, but I can't start here. But I could snap to line extension. So okay. No. Okay, I might have to use this tool instead. Line extension. No. I'm not sure how this works. I can follow this line, but where is it from? How do I... Not sure. Let's see. QGIS will provide a constraint that traces the extension of a line based on the segment orientation defined by the selected vertex. Okay, line extend there. Okay. There's that star and there's the X. Mm-hmm. Nope. Let's try the other one, XY point. Yep, that works. So I can keep this point snapping to one of those. Why doesn't the other one work? I have no idea. Creates a weird line here. Yep, never mind. It should work, and I guess I'm doing something wrong. Add filter rules. Vector tile renderer. Oh, okay. I don't have any vector tiles User-defined field names in export could come in handy. So you can create alias for your field names. Yeah, okay. Georeferencing vector layers in Georeferencer. This one, let's save that as a geopackage. And spin disk, udata, test. And it is okay. And it's wrong. It's not supposed to be there. So let's remove it. And let's start the... Oh, it's not here. Where is it? Georeferencer layer. As I remember it, it was under raster before, but it makes sense since you can now georeference vector data as well. So here's the georeferencer. And let's add vector from my spin disk. Geodata and this test layer. Here we go. And this corner is actually here. And okay. And this corner is actually here. That doesn't really make sense, but anyway, okay. So let's georeference that, transform empty file name give, okay. Start georeferencing. Do I need more points? Transformation settings, linear. GitHub scripting is not supported for linear transformation. Okay, let's do some other points. Crashed QGIS. That should be a theme right now. Crashing QGIS. Anyway, it's interesting that you can now georeference vector layers as well when it works. So let's move on. Yeah, field domains. That's a bit interesting. I'm not sure if we have had field domains for geopackages before. Oh, look at this. It created a modified geopackage at least. And there it is. But it's bad because I georeference it bad. So domains. I don't have any domains. I have fields. So how do I do that? File properties. No, I'm not doing file properties. Fields. I need to look into that a bit closer. But for GeoPackages, at least for now, you can add field domain management capabilities. So if you have set some form of maximum and minimum domain boundaries for a field, that can be stored and managed through the browser. Buffer transaction, don't know what that is, so I'll skip it. Forms, I know there are some news about forms, but it's beyond my capabilities to test it. Analysis tools. Keep disjoint features separate. Option for dissolve algorithm. Okay. Okay, so you, instead of dissolving everything, you can dissolve them separately. Wasn't that possible before? Maybe not. Yep. Raise message model tool. Okay. Previously you could raise a warning, but that was perhaps abused because that was the only means to send a message to the user. So now you can raise a message instead, or exception. I'm not sure if that was there before, but anyway, there are more options to highlight stuff for the user. Batch processing steps in task. Individual steps. Okay, not sure. Background processing of model algorithms. Previously, when you created a model, let's see if I can do that. Processing, where do we have you there? So you created a model, new model, and when you ran it, it ran in the primary thread of the computer. But I'm guessing that now you can somehow run it in the background in a separate thread. I'm not sure if that is automatic or not. Might be automatic. See what it says. Previously, any graphical model designed in process would be forced to run the main thread and did not support. QGIS now supports running model algorithm off the main thread so that they can safely be run in the background tasks. I'm guessing this is automatic, so when you run a task, it will not run in the main thread. It will use a separate task, separate thread. Examples, that's nice if you are creating models for someone else. Overlay tools with multiple overlay layers support. As new intersect union difference tools with support multiple overlay inputs instead of a single overlay layout. Probably useful. Feature project elevation properties framework. Yeah. That's useful for the new elevation profiles tools, at least. So this is maybe something that came because of that. We will get back to the profiles tools because that is probably one of the big new features. Option is storing UI configuration in user interface configuration. Okay. remember attribute table windows and docs between sessions. So you can, okay. So when you reopen a project, it will remember how the user interface was, how it was looking when you closed it or saved it. Could be useful if you are sharing a project with someone else and they need to, it would be useful for them to have a certain part of the user interface visible, if that could be open by default when you open the project. Okay, skip that. Project style databases support. List of QGIS style databases for a project. Going to link to multiple style databases and then show all symbols. This style path can point to a style database or XML exports. When a project is loaded, symbol and label style selectors will show all symbols from all styles linked to the project. Okay, this requires Qt 5.13 or later. So since I am on focal, I cannot see that. But probably useful. Add a setting to show features count by default from newly added layers. Show feature count. Okay. Was that in project settings? No. Or Canvas and Legend. Canvas and Legend. Show, there we go. So the yellow are new, maybe? So if I add a layer, yep, shows up the numbers. And since that is in the overall settings, that will be independent of the projects you are using. So it will always show up there. Add a skip option. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure what that is. Moving on. Revamp projects. This new version of QGIS has revamped the way default project symbols are handled at upgrading it, as well as behaving correctly in multi-user environments. Projects default symbols. So default styles, project properties. Project properties, default styles, new. Yo. No. Styles. Default styles. It's that one anyway. Yep, not sure. Now we get to the meaty part. Profile plots. One of the big new things. And I'm guessing we are going to see a lot of profile plots in the upcoming weeks. And it's supposed to be possible to use for rasters, vector data, point cloud, and I'm going to try a few of them. So let's say a new project, and if I have some elevation data, I don't? Yes, I do. It's a big one. So where do we have the tool for this? Elevation. Elevation. So if I add my elevation data, and let's style that. So how do I add this profile? How do I add a profile? It's a tool. Should be some form of tool for it. Profile tool, something. Is it here? Nope. Profile. Elevation profile. Here we go. So there's the tool, and we should capture a curve. Let's just do it like that. And and then what? Capture curve, clear, identify features, pan, zoom full, measure distance, export options. Ooh. Is that in degrees? Probably. That's odd. Well, not odd, because my project is in degrees. So let's change that to and add a new one. Now it's much more reasonable. Oops, crashing QGIS. Here's the theme. I'm already crashing QGIS a lot, so let's go for broke and try point clouds. And add elevation profile. Let's look at an area here, perhaps. The point cloud, yes, that one. Here we go. That's a point cloud and tolerance. Can I move it? So if I select here, it will be selected there. And now I use an identify tool, and it works here as well. I can use pan tool, zoom. How do I move this? Clear it. Let's find another place. Here. That was a bit more interesting. Yes, okay. And let's measure something there. Yep. That was a nice window. And I can export as PDF and export it as image, test, profile, PNG, and my pictures folder. Okay. Default, yes. Let's look at it. Test profile, small file, and there we go. Yeah, okay. And what else can we do? What else can we do? Dock elevation profile. Okay, we can have it as a window. Zoom x-axis. So if I go in like that. Nope. Zoom extent. Zoom x. Okay. Okay. So it's not to scale. So this one fills the plot, but if you want to have it at scale, you probably need to do something. So yeah, okay. I thought it looked a bit funny here. And now I did it from here to here, so I'm going to clear it out and do it again from this point to this point, otherwise my head starts to hurt. So in this area here, there's an amusement park. So I'm guessing I'm going to be able to view that a bit more in profile, and I can pan it, hopefully. Yes, I can. That was nice. Yep. Anyway, I will have to look into this profile tool a lot more later, because I think this will be really useful, and the interaction was also nice, that you can select items here and they get selected in the point cloud. So that was also a bit nice. Anyway, let's see what we have left. Flexible vector layers, symbology in elevation profiles. I will look into the profile tool more later. Rename bookmark groups, context menu control. Bookmarks, yes. Yep, skip it. Data providers, Esri vector tile packages is support for reading that. Yeah, okay. That's good, I guess. SQL logging, that's also good. QGIS serve, I will skip that. I'm guessing I've come to the end of this, because now it's programmability, notable fixes. I will highlight this as well. Notable fixes. It's not only new features in these new releases. There's also a lot of fixes. And we need to acknowledge that as well, because there's a lot of people that is doing a lot of work to fix things that is not as sexy as new features. So please be aware that there are also a lot of bugs that has been fixed for this release. I will be looking closer into more of these new features. It would be really nice, because I think this release is something of a monster. There's a lot of new things. And as you have noted, it crashes a lot. Hopefully that will be fixed when it is no longer a release candidate. But in the meantime, you can try it out. I think you can install this in parallel to the QGIS version you already have, at least in Windows, I think. But you can also look at the video with the changelog, and you can read the changelog and start testing things out. I have no idea how long this has been, but I think it's long enough right now. So let me just see if there were some questions in the live chat. There was something about editing. Yes, in this version, does it include 3D edit of vector data? No, I don't think so. That is something that for a later release, I'm guessing. And if you came into this live stream late, it will be online, so it can be you can look at it recorded. But for now, I think I'm done. If there are no further questions, then I will end the stream right now. So see you next time.